What do you think's your favourite object show? A few of them come to mind. Some of you might say one or maybe even both of the objects. Maybe even Animatic Battle, and it's time for the more recent stuff. And there is an Anime Insanity Season 1 Remastered if you're a sick individual. But do you know what my favourite object show is? You've read the thumbnail, it's the Nightly Manor. This video is basically going to be a review on the Nightly Manor. So feel free to subscribe if you want. I didn't get my paycheck last month, so I'm hoping I get my paycheck. And let's jump into episode 1. Diving into episode 1, and this episode is fine, I guess. Okay, I'm not going to do that running gag. This episode isn't exactly the best. I can say there's no bad episodes in the show though, the worst one being an 8 out of 10. This one's literally 3 minutes long and it's the shortest one out of the 6 episodes. Boombox and Sketchpad go to this Nightly Manor, and then there's this big advertisement which goes on for like 50% of the entire episode's runtime, and the 6 people meet up in the cafeteria, and suddenly the floor's gone. No! Yes, this is all I could say for episode 1. It's crazy how this episode was like the only episode out, so if you wasted like 2 days, you would have got a better like episode than this. If episode 2 took around the same time an average Teapot episode's released, then episode 1 would have been a horrible cliffhanger. This episode's really short though, and it's good that they made episode 2 with episode 1, which wish I could say more, but yet again this episode's 3 minutes long, so on to the next one. Now this episode is 5 minutes long. The entire Act 1 is short, taking around 13 minutes to watch in full. This is when the actual story begins, and I like the mood Sketchpad is in. Everyone is depressed and all that, while Sketchpad is in this silly world. And this is better than part 1. Mouse is dead, Ring is also dead, and this takes a dark turn. This has a better ending as well, but once again it ends on a cliffhanger. Never mind, it just ends on this conversation. I've not watched many non-competition shows, mainly only this and IDFB, and also Big of BFB, but we're not going to talk about that. Yeah, this amount of likes and I'm going to talk about Big of BFB. Yeah, not much again for this episode. Act 1 is again pretty small, so maybe there'll like be more for Act 2. The final part of Act 1. This is where we find out that GPS was behind it all, for now at least. I like how perfectly animated the crowbar scene is when GPS hits crowbar and jukebox. There is a chase scene before the climax where GPS self-destructs himself, and then the manor explodes. I mean, these first 3 episodes aren't the best honestly, but the worst one's like B tier at least, but the best one's like A minus or something. But trust me, I wouldn't change this act though, as there's not much to change. And well, these 3 episodes, Act 2 is way better than Act 1. Well, obviously, it's like the better sequel. Think BFDIA compared to BFDI, or Inanimate Insanity 2 compared to its Inanimate Insanity. Well, that's all I need to say about Act 1. This is the first episode of Act 2. This is basically everything like surrounding episodes 1 through 3. This is the first time that Sketchpad feels sad. In the previous 3 episodes he's more comedic relief, and this time he's not happy till like 6 minutes later when he's actually fine. Tophat is now sad, and now this is like how it begins. Between You and Me is a good song for object show standards, I guess. It's better than these songs, I guess, but it's fine. I like the Tophat and Sketchpad interactions, and I like the effort Sketchpad put in the recovery center just for it to not work and detonate itself. Tophat also gets these hallucinations that I keep seeing GPS over and over again, including Between You and Me at a couple of instances. There's an entire episode's like nearly as long as chapter 1, and I like now that episodes are longer. Episode 4 is my favourite part so far. There's a conversation with Sketchpad and Tophat, which is pretty good. And now let's go on to the magnum opus of this entire series. Episode 5 is probably my favourite episode out of these 6, and it's easily one of my favourite episodes in Object Show history. This is what happens first in the entire timeline, unless you count the Daily Object Show, which you can weirdly trace the show from this. This episode starts with Mouse and Spraypaint getting in this robbery with these group of people, and then Ring shows up, and then the bank robbery goes off, and they do really successfully in this heist until the bank alarm goes off. This is when they fail the heist, and the consequence is that Spraypaint gets into this argument with this ballpoint pen, and then they get kicked out, and then Mouse just joins in with Spraypaint and also gets kicked out. 1 week later, Mouse and Spraypaint are at a bar, and then it leads to the point where Spraypaint gets drunk, like a normal person basically, similar to how a normal person will get drunk. This is probably one of the first object shows that I've seen to have realistic effects that parallels with real life. And then this, of course, then since Spraypaint punched Speaker, so they now go to jail, and they have this amazing scene together, and that's about it. This episode's just amazing. Everything about it is just amazing. The writing was phenomenal. The voice acting was perfect. Everything about it was literally perfect. Episode 6, the long finale. It ends off the Nightly Manor on a good note. This episode shows GPS's side of everything. It's shown that GPS was on autopilot by Cody, showing everything he did to kill those people at the manor. It turns out that GPS wasn't even the villain, it was Cody, or those theory videos that say Ring was in the wrong. And then there's this dance scene, and it shows GPS's last few moments alive before he self-destructs. And this episode goes hand in hand with episode 1. There's also this video by Paper 2222 that explains, describes this entire show in real time. So go watch that, or just get out support to them. Anyway, that's all I need to say about the Nightly Manor. Let's go on about the characters. Well, to keep this video a bit longer, I don't know why. I'm gonna rank all the characters because, yeah. And the worst character is literally Ring. Ring isn't that noteworthy of a character. She gets killed straight off the bat and gets barely anything to do. I don't hate Ring, as they'll be unfair, but it's an easy see it as a nothing character. Then following that is Speaker. Just so you know, I think throughout the entire recording of this video I literally got the name wrong, so yeah, like I said, to me will just yeah. Anyway, Speaker suffers from the same fate. The only reason Speaker is better than Ring is because Speaker has more to do. This is one scene where he has, which is literally hype moments and aura, and that's really it. I'm sorry again, but C tier. Honestly, it has the same fate as TV and Teapot, to be honest, but TV and Teapot is literally worse anyway. GPS is the main character of this all. He's pretty good, not gonna lie, but he's not my favourite. I like him in episode 6 and all that, and I like the stuff with Cody, and the other guy's just cool, I guess. He's like the OJ or Fiery of the show, but at least GPS is a peak character. Fiery ain't really that good. And OJ, I don't really remember, to be honest, because I've not watched an anime Insanity in a year. Or rewatched it, and I'll explain why I haven't watched it in the following video. B tier. Tophat is cool. I like him in Act 2, and I like his duo with Sketchpad. And he also has Hypernova, just like Speaker. He has a bunch of talking scenes, and those scenes are actually amazing. Like the one with Sketchpad and GPS. By any means, A tier. Mouse is easily one of my favourites in this show. I'm an enjoyer of Mouse. I like the duo with Spraypaint, and overall they're pretty good of a character. It's S tier. Speaking of Spraypaint, it's the man himself, Spraypaint. There's a scene where he robs a bank, and let's be honest, I was so uncool by that ballpoint pen or whoever the character name was. And they have a pretty good duo with Mouse. Man, I love his arc so much. He is just S+, just only behind. I like Sketchpad. He's easily my favourite, or at least on par with the previous guy. He is a contestant that stays really consistent throughout the entire show. I like his thing at the manor, I like his thing with Tophat, and I like his character overall. S+, and that's the entire tier list. And the last thing I need to do for this video is rank all the episodes. I'm just going to use this exact layout I used last time for the BFDIA review. So Number 6, episode 1, visitors invited. Number 5, episode 2, rescue underway. Number 4, episode 3, survive. Number 3, episode 4, any day now. Number 2, episode 6, something's just stick in your mind. And number 1, episode 5, all the world and you and me. Well, this is the last part I need to write, record and edit. This show comes off as my favourite due to the writing, the story, the voice acting, the emotion, the hype, the moment, the aura, the animation, and it's easily my favourite object show. Now I've only reviewed 2 shows, and since I love being inspired by worst trends, I'm also going to do an object show tier list. I've only reviewed 2 object shows, this and the Anime Insanity 1 Remastered. Well, the Anime Insanity 1 Remastered is in F tier, and this season's in S tier. Honestly, I don't know what to review next, so leave a comment, and anyways, see you later. Goodbye.